All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and it's your boy Dave coming back at you live, and it is a happy Fast Money Friday. Hope you guys had a fantastic night of sleep, and here we are for another brand new trading day, our last trading day of the week. So let's get started. We got the S&P 500 and Nasdaq Composite move lower Thursday as investors continue to rotate out of major technology stocks into small caps. The broad market index drops 0.51% to close the session at 5,299.22 points. And the NASDAQ fell 0.93% to finish at 17,181.72. Outperforming the major indexes, the Dow Jones Industrial Average moved 0.2% higher to finish at 39,935. On the big tech front, Meta Platforms and NVIDIA each declined 1.7%. They weren't the only ones, as Microsoft slumped 2.5%, while Alphabet and Advanced Micro Devices saw losses of more than 3% and 4% respectively. With investors bailing on tech for the second day, the Russell 2000 surged higher, popping 1.26%. So that is what we got here so far. Let's get into our watch list. Going into WINT first, this is our number one gainer this morning. Stock is trading at $8.69 a share at the moment. Our first trade alert came at $7 and $7, and then the second round here at $7.30. So first seventh, and then we got a hit up to 778, and then second round 730, all the way up to now, as you can see, 889 here as the new pre-market high. So looking very good, very nice. Let's take a look into the company WINT. This one is a NASDAQ listed USA biotech company under 1 million float. So again, floats, that's the number offered to the shares to the public. So anything under 10 million is going to be volatile, and that's what we like to see. So that's one of the criteria that's meant. This one's a micro float, meaning it's under 1 million float. So it's going to be even more volatile, which is even better. All right. Obviously, if you can get the timing right, like when you get in early here in pre-market on these low floats, you can get a nice explosive movement like this once the volume comes in. All right. Other than that, with this company, we did not see a brand new press release this morning. Now, keep in mind, on Fridays, companies don't release hot press releases due to the fact that they know that there's a lot of people, they're looking forward to the weekend, and they're going to just not even trade on Friday. Some people like to trade, early, like first hour of the morning, and then they're going to take off. So they're just not, it's not going to be favorable, right, for the companies for their boost of their stock price. So they're saving for those on the more active days. Now, anyways, looking forward to WINT at the market opening. The only thing you have to keep in mind is, it's going to be that same thing where we talk about up, all pre-market, short window, for another high of the day at market opening, and then a fade. So yeah, I mean, we'll be keeping our eyes on that. And then let's move on here. I got Krev. Krev was actually my personal favorite trade, earlier here, because you got this right off the morning at this $10 and 11 10 line here, and then we got all the way up to this $14.25. So that was a really incredible nice pop. Obviously we're going to use that same resistance line previously as our support here on CREV. So you can see, if you missed this earlier here, you could have waited until it came all the way down here to the support. Obviously, 1010 isn't too far off from the natural whole support line at $10. So we will see if we can continue to hold a $10 mark on Krev and continue to get a reversal later to the VWAP at near $12 that I see. All right. Besides that, this one is also a low float company on CREV. So let's take a look at this company. What this company is, this is a Ireland auto part company at a 1.75 million float. So another low float stock, and not surprising, we don't have any brand new press release, but we did have a news yesterday, late at night, actually. Carbon Revolution supplies carbon fiber wheels for Chevrolet Corvette ZR1, for all the Corvette fans out there. So anyways, that is a headline that decided to come out at 9:10 p.m. yesterday. All right, anyways, moving forward here. That's probably because it's an Ireland company they released that. at that time zone. Anyways, EVRI next. This is a top fourth gainer currently. All right, and this one is currently trading at 1288. Great entry here. You can see the alert came out at 1240, and it's just been one of those steady higher float names that's been climbing on up. So let's take a look into what's going on here on EVRI this morning. Every Holdings. This is a USA gambling company. Okay, and it's a 80 million float, so it's a very high float name. And this morning we did have a brand new press release. There's a company called Apollo or Apollo Funds is to take the IGT Gaming and Every private in a $6.3 billion deal. So you can go inside, you can go to Yahoo and check it out and read the details if you want. But basically, those two, IGT Gaming and the digital business of Every, is going to be acquired by Apollo Funds in all cash transactions. So you can look at, I think I saw, all cash transaction of, I think it was like 1425, which is why I put the max PT at 1425. So keep your eyes on EVRI, as you know, technically still has more room if it decides to get that 13 to 14 area there. All right. Okay, so we got 2 minutes before market opens. I got CVM and news. So let's get into CVM here real quick. CVM is currently trading at 165. This is our latest alert. Looks like it came out for the 150 at 9:10. So about 15 minutes ago, we got this now trading at 166 from 150 break, and the pre-market high is so far hitting at 173. So love to see CVM get that nice U-shaped breakout above that 173 and continue to make another new high of day into market opening. So overall, CVM, if you look at the daily chart, let's see here, we have more room to run. I have a daily 200 on that at 175. So actually, technically, that is a little bit of resistance where we did already hit 173. So just FYI, if you already got in at 150, there is a daily at 175. So maybe it's not a bad idea to lock some in, and then you can look for that if it decides to break 175. And then last but not least, I put NUZE on the watch list. Okay, news. This one does not have any news. News does not have any news. Went making new high of the day, by the way. It is breaking down at $9.11 from 903. News, I have a play for this area here, 375, which hasn't happened yet. And so we'll be watching for that. Okay, so no news on news. 375 break. We have played this the other day, or everything, you know, whatever it was, not pretty recently. And pre-market high so far earlier has been all the way up to this $4.29 mark. All right, market's going to open up here in 10 seconds. Let's have a great day, folks. All right, 20 seconds, excuse me. Let's go pull up Wint. Obviously, this is you know, running up in towards the market opening. So we do need to keep that in mind that we're probably going to have that short window here. And here we go, folks. Market is now officially open.
CVM, SLGM, XCVM, CVM, JCI, OMFT, CVM, RGC, RGCM, CVM.
Okay, so at market opening, you got Wint that just hit 940 double top. CVM is breaking 175, or at least it hit up towards 189 so far. All right, why is EVRI up here? I'm in CVM here. So CVM looking good. Okay, come on now. All right.
LGL, Mets, NUZ, KGIA, POA. Ditto. TRNR. MGRX. XCUR. CMAX. CPM. 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 CPM.
Okay, CBM looking good here. 150 break is looking good. NQ, and then get a chance to talk about it this morning. But you got this nice downtrend breakout. Looks like buyers came in, but pink deviation line became rejection several times here. And now we got a death cross. So that's why we got the market opening here, cracking this line, and then got a flush down. And now we got a little quick bounce back up again, which should be another good area to probably re-short. Here is going to be another resistance at the moment, but let's see if it's going to be able to pull up all the way, which is going to be tough. But let's see. All right, CBM in the meantime is blowing up. My gosh, it broke above that 175 to 200 daily. Now that's going to be your solid support. In fact, now you should probably use $2 now as a whole dollar resistance to now support if it can close out here at $2.
Back. CRI. XCUR. XCUR.
Okay, as we expected, WIT should be pulling down for now as I got a double top there. And right now we're gonna get a 229 up halt here on CBM right now showing. So 229. Now remember, you gotta get the $2 first holding.
BK. TRNR. CMAX. RADS.
So you see that when I pulled back up, that was a great area to reshore, like I said. And now we're about to come back down again, but either way, it is getting to that oversold territory. Just keep that in mind on the RSI. Okay, so now $2 here, 229 is still the up halt, folks. Stock's up 70%, so it might want to get that 100% mark here as $2 hold. CBM watching $2 hold as new sup and 100% mark next. They moved it up to now 231 up halt now. And just needs to close above $2 first.
BYSI.
All right, great start so far. Remember, I told you guys yesterday that, hey, don't come in here at the market opening. Be here earlier in pre-market because a lot of the good entries happen before market opens. Okay, where we don't usually see. Look at the pattern of the trading team. Usually plays don't really come out on Fridays after market open. We usually have a lot of them coming out in pre-market. So I mean, if we see one, we'll go ahead and play it. But right now, you know, Wint is that fade up, 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 up. Got that doji right at the look at the time on the chart right there, guys. That was a huge doji in the Heikin-Ashi 931, and then you got the next following candle being red top and just flat down all the way down, and now it's at the VWAP. And Mike probably gonna get the death cross later. So this is exactly why you just gotta notice those patterns and know. Make that one more high to that market opening quickly, and then just bail before the GTFO candles start coming. So, you know, Krev, I mean, that was a pre-market hottie, now all the way down below 10, but it is that's actually at the 500 EMA if you guys really love that. So Krev, I will say, testing 500 on the one. It is below 10, which is not really something that I like to see. So it's probably going to be like the 925, 500 EMA bounce to like $10 resistance, quick scalp. And then, I will just take that and then see if it's going to re-break $10 or not. But chances are probably might get rejected there again and then fade down further. NUZE just can't seem like it's going to get the 375. So it's like, getting, hammered down. That's also at the 500 EMA. So NUZE also at 500 on the one. Now, the only ones that are still healthy are what? Wint and CVM. Because Wint, yes, we did get that pullback as expected, but we didn't get a death cross just yet. It's bouncing a little bit from the VWAP, so it does need to ride back above the 10 EMA. Right now, Krev did just bounce exactly to the $10 mark here, and a few wicks up there. So we'll see if it's going to start establishing back above 10. And if it does, then, we could see this thing potentially look for that higher lows to form from the $10 mark. Now, CVM, we did get a double top at 210. The next key area here is to bounce off the VWAP. And I need to see that re-break of that $2 mark. So be on the lookout for that CVM if we can get that same the whole dollar shuffle level. I like to see this thing potentially going for more if it doesn't crack the VWAP, that is. So right now, let it come down to VWAP. Same thing with Wind. It came down to VWAP. We're trying to figure out whether it's going to really do its job. I'll have an exact line. I have a line at like about 10. I got same thing, Krev, 10-10 line. That was our first entry line. So Krev, 500 EMA bounce from 925 to 10-10 old resistance line. That is the line that you want to sell into, okay? Because it already got a death cross a while back. So you have to understand when that happens, you just take that quick bounce and bail. You can't just be like, well, my average is all the way up there still, and you can't do that. You got to learn how to, all right, take the losses and move on. You can't just create this imaginary, well, what if, and try to play this game on your head, and it's not going to happen. The chances are very low. Now, again, like I said, 500 EMA holds on Krev. We could potentially see that higher low, but right now it looks to be not the case. Wind, I think, is going to get a death cross at this rate. It's needed to get that nice bounce off that VWAP just now and just got a new low of the day at 89 EMA. So it's going to go all the way down to 200 next. Now, we also want to pay attention to our old alert lines on Wint. So let's go back to Wint real quick. I'm still watching CVM here, but so with with Wint, I'll visit that here in a little bit. Right now, CVM, we have a play for the 197 candle break. Okay, so first alert into market opening, and then Wint. Yeah, I was very close about getting that death cross, so I wouldn't marry that for now. I mean, I wouldn't marry any of these, but okay. So you got a doji here on NQ and a flat bottom red here, flat top red. So okay, CVM slowly bouncing off from that VWAP right now, as you can see. I gotta do something with this trade idea. It's just loading way too slow, man.
UTMY.
224 up pulse showing right now on CVM. Keep in mind, this stock is on SSR. CVM is on SSR, FYI. For those that don't understand what a SSR means, okay? I will post it out here.
Done.
Okay. Other than that, we got this 197 line here is that we need to what? We really need to pay attention to, right? Because if this candle breaks, then we should be able to see a nice um
Done.
pop here. Here we go.
Third.
230 uphold right now, guys. CBM 2.30 uphold showing.
CBM.
There's a new high today.
CBM.
See how this works? So step by step. Now we got the what? We got to hold above and move your stops up. You know where to move it up, right? Your support's at 197 now. So we hit the first target level. We got to lock something in. And then you can replay that or hold some of the shares you still have. If the 10 EMA right now it's back down to 10 EMA here. They can't move this line for some reason. Okay, so 210 filled me. Hopefully it did for you too, because it went up more than 210, went all the way to 222. So hopefully we're able to lock in as you went and then move your stops up. Another thing that I'd like to do is when the first PT hits and it goes up like that, you can use a stop loss just a hair below that first PT. Kind of experiment with it. You know, you want to take those first target levels. You also want to see those target levels become support levels too. So right now in this case, it was just a quick pop and drop. Now this is also what? I mean, CBM really didn't do much in pre-market, so but it technically still did move on up, starting from pre-market, and here we are, got up to 222. So 222 is a high of the day right now. I mean, technically have a line all the way to 231 next. If 231 ever breaks, I mean, max for me would be 250 for now for today, I think. But you know, we'll see. Wint, yeah, Wint is I mean, it might try to reverse, but I think it's gonna be tough. I think it's gonna be tough. I'll be surprised if it does re-break this line here. I got a big line at this 820. We'll round it up. Pretty much if it does get the 825-ish area there, I mean it could be nice, but I need to see the golden cross first. So 825 resistance, candle break line. I'll just say worth watching. I think CVM's still fine because it's still above the VWAP. This is the only stock that's above VWAP right now. So just FYI, don't like say that this is it because other stocks are all below VWAP except this guy here. A lot of times traders get distracted thinking, well, that was a quick pop. It's done. Well, you can say that when it's actually cracked a lot of these, you know, cracked key indications like, you know, VWAP, for example, here. Looks like right now, this candle ended up closing above this line. So this is your support line now on the futures NQ 19130 now. And now it's trying to reverse back up towards the 14 EMA. So we are reversing up right now on NQ. So ES, if you trade ES on the S&P 500, that should also follow as well. I actually watch both guys I watch ES and NQ, which is the S&P 500 and NASDAQ that I follow on those futures. Here we go, CBM, one more shot. Let's see if we can get that rebreak of 197 again. And then you got currently 239 up pulse showing. So 239 up pulse right now. 239. I'll push. Now, for those that are new that joined earlier this week, again, just keep in mind Friday is just a little bit slower, but you know, that's okay. Actually, sometimes Friday is a mix. It is considered slow shading of the week, but you still get these 100 days that get some explosive moves. All right, come on, let's close out 197. We got about 40 seconds still on this candle. Ooh, looks like it did not get back above that previous candle, or it did, but it was a big wick and it's continued to drop. Huge drop. I guess you can't you can't forget about the death cross here. 197 here on CVM still huge resistance here. So right now CVM testing back at the VWAP again. So what do we need to pay attention on? Well, we need to bounce one more time out of this triangle here from the VWAP. News is now at 500 on the one. Not sure. I think I already mentioned it before. It's back at the 500 EMA again. And NQ made a new low of the day. Death cross, death cross, death cross. Always be mindful. A couple of you guys DM me the last few days about how useful the death cross has been for you guys, and that's good. A lot of times, traders, we have so much indicators and so much things to look for that you look at one thing and then you forget the other. That happens, okay? And it just means that you're just not as experienced, all right? When you stick around and you keep working on your looking at that over and over again, it just becomes second nature, guys. Okay, so if you're like thinking, oh man, there's just so much things to look for, Dave, it just means you're inexperienced. You're just inexperienced, all right? So all it takes is just show up every day, see the same thing every day, like, and don't give up. Just see it every day, and the next thing you know, your brain's just gonna like wire like a natural thing, like just like I see it now. It's just like boom, boom, boom. I'm not a pilot, but imagine a pilot having to look at so many buttons and controls and have to like look at all these things to make sure the plane is good and all. It's probably a lot. Or what's the thing? Oh, what's the other one? Something controller, air controller or something. Or those guys have to stay up all day to make sure everything's good too. Anyways, all right, let's go down here. Let's CVM for now, 197. This maggot couldn't get back above, so this thing is dead beat right now. It's probably gonna get a death cross. Well, not yet, but it cracked VWAP, so it doesn't serve us. I just think we need to pay attention to wind because that has been our number one play. Air traffic controller. Yes, thank you. That's the one. That's the one. Okay, when it's testing 825, it's gotta get that candle break and then gotta get the golden cross. So don't get a fake out yet. You gotta wait for that 825 patiently for the solid break, you know what I mean? Okay, so 825, we're going finally here on Wint. Gotta get the candle closing here in the next 10 seconds, and we do. We gotta get a halt up at 885. All right, so right now this was a quick pop, but then it closed above it. So traders are just taking it right now. So if you took that quick 825, we did hit all the way up to 860. So PT did hit, but it is back down. So you got to keep in mind it didn't get a golden cross just yet on Wint. So we're going to have to probably wait it out till if you miss it, you miss it. It's okay. But still watch that 825 for the re-break here later. This is still holding that VWAP, so it's going back and forth right now. They're really trying here. $8.85 all pulse still, guys. Nothing changed. $8.94. They're moving it up. Key is to really close above that 825, guys. And then we got plenty of room to go. All right, here we go. Next new candle. We're above it now. 894 up halt. Now you got to use the 825 as support here. We don't want to see a Heikin Ashi body candle now closing below 825. We're got to go here. Come on, 894 up halt. Come on, bulls. 825 needs to hold. We need to close above this line here next 20 seconds. 20 seconds, and then we should hit $9. 903 now. 903 up halt. Stay focused. Have your mouse hand on the mouse. Ten EMA is so close to the 50 EMA. It needs to cross up here. Golden cross. Give us the golden cross. Come on, baby. Our candles are opening up higher than 825. This is good signs here. Come on. 903 up, Paul. 10 EMA starting to crawl above the 50 here. We got to go here. Come on now. Where's the buyers? You guys see the signals here. Come on. We see the bullish signals. 10 EMA curling up. Candles green. Higher lows. Buyers, where are you? 825 support. All right, NQ for now, obviously. Where's the heading? I mean, this 14 EMA is curling down, so we're probably going to head down to the next indicator line, which is going to be the deviation 1 line here. In the meantime, Wint looking good. Building the next candle here still. So we have like this is our second candle now officially above the 825. So the candle previously at 955 was the first candle closed above 825, which was a sign of bullishness. And then you add more because it's bullish, because it looks good. 825 support. Now we got to get a new higher high. We just did. Okay. Previously was 875, now 879. We want to see $9. Now we want to see the up halt move up to now above 903. Now 912 is the up halt. Looks like shorts are trying to take it back down here. We got a doji. We got a big doji here. We got about 10 seconds here to determine what's going to happen here next. Otherwise, we're going to probably see this thing potentially testing back down to 200 EMA here. Let's see. Right now, definitely you should have locked something in along the way and have a tight stop now and take what you can because you don't want to ruin all those games. So this one's just a quick popper right now. There's not many stocks on Friday that loves to sustain. So you see that huge doji that just created there. Make sure you change your candlesticks to Heikin Ashi. The 956 candle there, that was a big doji. That was a perfect doji right there. So now it didn't close here. Yeah, we still have 30 seconds. This thing, next time when it comes back up, instead of using the 825, you should watch the 833 line now. So 833 doji.
One.
And you see that following candle after the doji, it became a flat top red.
HQMN, SNR, ARBK.
So next time it pops up, use the 833 line. So you move it up now instead of getting into the so that's just what I'm saying. It's from 825 to 833. Okay, so I'm gonna put another line at 833 because it's pretty tight between 825 and 833 here. There's a lot of resistance here right now. I'm gonna put a double top here, which was a perfect area to sell off into, which we talked about how you have short window after running up like that in pre-market into market opening. You want to see a new high today, and this one was also a nice indication of hey, let's get out, double top resistance, and then it flushed. Now it sometimes double top happens and it can pull back down to 10 EMA. This 10 EMA cracked. You don't want to risk the low 10 EMA. All right, so Wint is back on death cross. So like I said, this was just an obvious doji and a flat top right now. I'll show you what I mean. If you don't see that on your charts, this is exactly why you got to have your hands on the mouse and then move your stops up, because you got to protect your gains, right? Lock something in. Some of you guys are like, well, I want the PT to be higher. Well, what's the point if you never hit your first target level? You don't even take anything. You got to lock something in, guys. Like, this is why I say go for the singles first. And then, once you get the feel for locking in, guess what? You're going to get addicted for locking in gains. It's way better than that than always holding for more and holding and hoping for more. And then you don't get nothing. And then, in fact, nothing to worse is just goes all the way down below your entry. And then you're just out with a huge loss, which is what 90% of traders do, by the way. They don't take anything. So you see that right there? I should have actually, let me put a line right there. So that was an 825 line, and then now you got an 833 line there. So that as soon as the doji appears, like when I say, hey, there's a huge doji, that's when you need to start, getting ready. I mean, that was a pretty big one. So hopefully we're already pre-prepared, right? Because these lines, you have to use those lines of support. If it's not looking healthy, you got to make that quick decision and protect yourself. Otherwise, it's going to come back down. And then, so you see how that doji right there at 833 and then a flat top red right in the middle of that doji. That is not a good sign. Not only that, you see that blue line 10 EMA going below back of the 50 EMA. So now this is the things like I said, it's going to go back down to 200 EMA, which is that green line right there in the screenshot. And that's where it just hit. All right. So it's all about getting ready, preparing ahead of time. This 200 EMA cracks, most likely it's going to crack, I think, because the death cross happened. And I think the buyers got trapped into, well, if you were late, people that were late buying into all the way up here into these 870s here. I think I got this thing going all the way down to 661, 500 EMA next. All right, let's rotate here. CVM just got a death cross, so that's not something to look at either. I mean, NQ, I gotta say that's a really big move back up here again. So and that's because, I mean, come on, like we got into such an oversold territory here in the RSI, and now we're reversing back up very nicely here. Let me know if you guys see anything else. Right now things are looking a little dim, which is usual what happens here at the market opening. First 30 minutes already passed. Now it's 10:01. Yeah, Wint, look at that. Wint halted all the way down. Wint is halted down. So this is exactly why you don't want to be if you didn't have a stop and you're still in, this is what I'm talking about. You're now holding a fat bag of rocks. Okay. So having those stops and plan before the trade is so important. There's not many good candidates right now this morning. And you got a little SGMO here, a little little $1 area here. Let's see what $1 usually breaks, and you can see a little 10-cent pop here. You got to probably target up towards about 110, 109 here on Trade Ideas target, I guess. But let's see if it has any PR. No, I mean, not surprising. No news. $1 resistance. Again, keep in mind also Fridays, traders like to be more on the short side. At the same time, don't get too comfortable shorting everything, right? Because there's always that one stock on Friday. Well, not always, but this is how short sellers get trapped. They get too comfortable shorting everything. And then there's that one stock that just rips you apart. CBM. Yeah, man. I think news looks okay. News looking okay. Bouncing from 501 coming up towards VWAP. This one was a little of a quick popper earlier, and this one, if there's nothing else running, news could be a sneaky runner. So let's kind of turn our heads over here at the moment. Remember, we have a 375. You see that right there? It got a rejection, pulled back. It attempted to go back up. Couldn't even get that nice, kiss at 375. This is the 500 EMA, which is also my line that I had here at 320. Clearly, it's working, and it is going to have to get the VWAP roll. Only thing about news is what? Look at these candlesticks. They look a little flimsy, right? They're a little malnourished. So somebody ought to feed this guy here. Otherwise, you're not going to really see much growth here. The growth might happen if that VWAP roll happens, and then you got 372 up pulse. So a few taps on news could get things going. So news 372 up pulse showing. Remember to always double check the volume today and compare it to its average volume to determine whether or not, hey, is this a good volume for today? On average volume, for example, on news trades at 2.84 million in shares. Where are we at right now? We are below average volume. We are at 1.89 volume. So it is missing about 1 million in volume compared to its average volume. So that's something you need to also keep in mind. Okay, so on average, we need to start kind of bumping above 3 million to get things exciting on this NUZE, which could happen over time. And I like the 10 EMA starting to curl up a little bit here. It's very close to the 50 EMA. So instead of waiting for the 375, you could wait for a successful VWAP roll here. Let's see how earlier here it got just a wick into VWAP, pull back. That's what it needs to do here too. It breaks above VWAP, maybe gets rejected here at like 371 or something like that, and then pulls back, bounces up off that VWAP, and then breaks above 375 to 4 to the pre-market high to this line. And look at the daily chart here. It got all the way up above $5. Right. This little creature knows how to pop up quickly because this nature it's like a cheetah. It's 1.7 million float. So it's not a little snail or a little turtle. Sometimes you just got to be patient. A lot of traders like to get in on these 500 EMAs dip early. So some of these guys are already in here at 320. They're like, okay, watching the bid, they're asked, okay, 345 on the bid, 349 on the ask. They want to see this thing slowly moving on up. NQ, I mean, I don't think I have to say anything at this point. Since the death cross, are you gonna get more bullish movements or bearish movements? You're gonna get more bearish movements, right? So the only times when you should like go long is either at the reversal of a downtrend line or buy at a really low price, like at these support levels. And the short side, you also don't want to short at a low price either. You want to short at these, these trend lines, right? And wicks into these areas, 14 EMA. You get the point. It's pretty much just short the freaking resistance. All right, wind coming down. Look where wind is at. It came all the way down to our $7. And guess what? People think that might be the saving gracing line. Oh, well, the 500 EMA is all the way down to 662. So probably is going to get all the way down below $7 next and go down to the 500 EMA.
The RGC, the RGC.
Okay. Maybe pumpers are over at RGC. Let's double check. It's top third gainer right now on RGC. 44 million volume traded. So yeah, let's turn our attention. RGC worth watching here. It's got a above all indicators at the moment, and it's halted up. So can't do much about it now. So halted up at $18 or $17.47, and it's showing at 18, but $17.47 up pull. Under 1 million in volume, so it's not a whole lot of volume. Just started popping up about 91%. So it's gonna be a tough one to just look for play here.
CSL.
Okay, so NQ just made a new low of the day. So traders are probably gonna start covering around that level here soon.
KML.
So we got winds check, CVM check, CVM check, winds check. The only ones that didn't break through on the candles were news and PMN. So I'll leave those on for another like 25, 30 minutes, but doesn't look too promising at the moment. You never know though, this news. I'm just gonna watch closely here. It is creeping up a little bit. I have sometimes I have a good taste of some of these stocks early. Just FYI. It's just starting to get the VWAP roll, by the way. News starting to get VWAP roll.
Saba. TGI.
Testing 375. Well, what's going on here? Like I said, might not be a bad idea to get in a little bit earlier too, right? It's a little bit slower volume, right? That's 2 million now. So we're just about 800,000 shares away from the average volume of trades. So in general, we want to be obviously above the average volume. And then we got showing at 394 uphold on NUZ. We got a 375 resistance, right? Which was the current alert level we need to break through. Like I said, if you wanted to get in earlier, this was a VWAP right there, 355. So spiked up, and you see how that below wick came all the way down 355. That's the VWAP roll right there. Up, down, and then pop, 375. It's time to roll, 398 up halt now, 398 up halt now. So they moved it up from 394 to 398. And then now 407 up halt. So now you want to see this thing testing $4, right? You want to see the buyers coming in here. Not 3407, 407.
OCSL.
Well. 390 now.
Double case.
You got a line all the way up to $4, or this line here, and then 430. 407 uphold still. 414 uphold. They moved it up. This is why you need to know when it's time to stay focused and when it's time to look at some other junk. All these other guys are just taking a beating now. Yeah, I mean, top fan says SGMO about to break out. Well, actually, it broke out. It started running. It's since market opening. You know, this is a classic example of a stock where it sits at 200 EMA, rolls off it from market opening, and then just continues to run up. Buying up there is not smart right now. Do not chase. It's already done. Like, it's already gotten it. You just got a doji in a flat top red, just like how you saw in the Went on SGMO. That's called bye bye birdie. Now, it could still hold off the VWAP and bounce on SGMO, but if you want to play at the breakout now, you have a solid line at 108. So I'll keep an eye on that one though. Good one to remind. RGC to get unhalted, not in it, but it just made a new high day again. Now, news, what happened here? Well, we got what we wanted to see so far. We have a $4 area resistance, but can this go for more? Of course. That's why we're watching still closely here, because we want to see how these candlesticks are forming. Not a single red candle yet. Still right in 10 EMA. So for those that missed it, you know, kind of expect maybe a little pullback. A doji's forming here right now. And the next candle is going to determine whether or not it's going to break back above 375 and go get a new high of day, or if this is going to pull back down. Let's see. New line is now 377. So just pretty much around the 375 still here. We got a bill support, bounce off of it, and continue our beautiful roll into a new high day above $4. And you do want to see that uphold move on up. Now it is 418 now. Okay. 418 uphold. Things are starting to look up still on news. So we got a doji and now holding above it. We got two dojis and above it 375 is still trying. We got to get a new high of day here though. I want to see this thing getting into 4. So far news 375 to 397. Now we're waiting to see 375 get a fat candle up, not down. We want to see this thing up. Right now 10 EMA has crossed above VWAP. So you can use the 10 EMA right now along with the VWAP as your solid support level, which is between 365 to 375 here. 2.9 million in volume. So we did cross average volume right now, guys, on news. News crossed above its average volume. So things are starting to look like maybe people are starting to pick up some notices here, maybe. So now you want to see a 10 EMA flag here forming on NUZE. And then we should be able to get a good breakout if we can get that 10 EMA flag here breakout. Right, so this is the area that we really need to see and have a range order set or some sort of again, have your protection plan. We want to generally see this thing popping out. All right, so news, 10 EMA, bull flag, worth watching. Got about 10 seconds to hold this 10 EMA, which we are. And the next candle, we need to bounce off this 10 EMA here. This is not actually accurate. This 10 EMA is the last thing here. This 10 EMA right here. So 365 to 375 support. Between that, you don't want to see that, or below that, you don't want to see that crack. So still fine, bouncing off the 10 EMA right now. 378 on the bid. Still 418 up halt. I really don't want to see this candle. Well, we got 5 seconds, so it looks like still it's gonna hold, but next candle is gonna go. We're running out of time. The next candle's gotta go. This candle's gotta go here. So this is the last candle that I want to see go. This candle is important. This 1 minute candle. Because the fourth candle comes out and it does the same thing. I mean, it's just the chances are going to decrease. So this we got about 30 seconds now. This buyers need to start showing up here, and then we can wedge this out and start getting the nice explosive move that we all want to see. And and you see, new high today, guys. Just got a new pop, and there's going to be some sellers, but that's just what happened. New high today. Remember, 375 is still your support. Now you want to see $4 being support. $4 now, ideally want to see new sup. Just that move, I'm up over $2,000. 422 up halt. 430 up halt. Now traders are starting to take a little notice. We do still need to close above $4 though, so don't get all hyped up yet. Lock in something and then make sure the next line here at $4 becomes support. You see how I was very keen on every single candle? This candle needs to go, right? And it did. That was a candle. If it flopped down, that was just the bye-bye birdie moment. But good thing buyers came in, took advantage of the 10 EMA bull flag. Now we got a 434 up halt. Now we're getting the momentum here. 434 up halt. Now this could be the now the big key area is going to be 430 here. So NUZE $4 sub and then 4.30 resistance candle break line next key area to break. Okay, just FYI. Now remember, please lock in along the way. Do not go right on this play. Don't be a dodo bird here going into the weekend. Dodo birds are extinct. FYI. 439 up, Paul.
No.
I try to give you guys the latest up pulls every day, guys. So you guys, I type it out too. So hopefully you guys are following along nicely. And even if you're not following or whatever, you're not, hopefully you're the biggest thing is that you're taking this in and seeing it to learn it. So $4 still wiggling back and forth. I mean, look at the 10 EMA right now. 10 EMA is at 388. By this time, everybody should have locked in at the very least 50% of their shares, in my opinion. Again, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but because the next line is that 430 line, and then you want to make sure that 430 really goes. And I mean, like I said, talking about earlier, this is a cheetah. This knows how to run. Look at this candle. This is 24th, guys. This was 2 days ago. Went up to 5.25. So whole number $4. Let's kind of keep building it up. 443 up. All the hop is moving up higher. Look what happened to SGMO. Remember I told you about that 108 line? And it's going to be exactly like Wint. Look at what's going on in SGMO. It's becoming just like Wint right now. It's about to get a death cross. It's going to go all the way down to 500 MA. This is where the shorts come in, and then they eat that thing all the way down. Look where Wint is at right now. Wint is now at 500 EMA. This is exactly why you don't even need to waste your time buying at the 50 EMA, the 200 EMA, guessing around. I'm not saying that you should wait for every stock to be back down to 500 EMA, because they're not going to be all back down to 500 EMA right away. You have to first figure out where are the look at that, guys. Look at what happened. 430 just hit and then wick down. Just hit 430 to the T, guys. Look at that. NUZE hit 4.30 to the T. Right, this is my 430 line right here. Actually, I put it at 429, but it's 430, right? Look at that. 430 to the exact. Wint is at the 500 EMA right now, 666. 666 on Wint, 500 on the one. Just test it down there. So I think we got 430 for now. That's going to be a big one. This is another big doji right now forming. That doesn't mean it's over right now because, it's at the 10 EMA now. So this got a doji and a flat top red. So this is the final area. This otherwise is going to crack. I just think everyone should have locked in there, because if you look at the trend line here, from here to there, that is already a very strong resistance rejection line there. So perfect. We played this to the perfect T. Hopefully you guys were able to capture good moves here today on NUZE. That was pretty much the only stock that I started seeing some potential there. So, all right, now we can forget about this. Look what happened. Doji in the flat top red. Care to show you what I'm talking about here? So you guys, for those, some people just have to see it to believe it. These unfaithful people, right? Some people just gotta see it to believe it. That's what I'm talking about right there. I said doji right there is it's gonna be the GT. I mean, I didn't say it's gonna be the GTFO, but most likely it's gonna be that nice flat top red there on NUZE. And look what happened is halted down and halted down. So if you know this is definitely going to be giving you more edge in the market to where you can lock in gains and become profitable. So yeah, for those that are like, well, trading is gambling, I just can't get it, I can't win. Well, buddy, you're just not, you just need to stick with it and figure out, because if you know that there are people out there knows what the heck's going on and they're killing it and they're doing well, I mean, luck can't be on their side forever, right? It must be something else. Or maybe if you practice and study hard enough, maybe luck might be just on your side. But anyways, NQ finally breaking out here. I mean, got higher low, higher low, higher low, higher high, and this just might see a little bit up towards the pink dev line. If you're on the 1 minute chart, NQ is coming up towards a deviation 2 line. And it is getting up to that point where you do want to probably lock in. You do not want to expect this to go actually hit the pink deadline, in my opinion, because it didn't hit the pink deadline here for the shorts. So it is getting to that point where you want to go ahead and lock in. Now, NUZE, you can also use our previous downtrend line as your what? You know, an area for shorts to look for cover and also a little bit maybe a quick bounce. It's looking like it's around the 50 EMA, around 360. So around between 353 to 360. Now, if that cracks, then yeah, it's gonna go all the way down to 325. But I'm not gonna be someone that's gonna be getting back in on NUZ again, because again, stocks like these, you really just need to be part of that momentum. Once the momentum dies, you know, you can't really expect, especially on stocks like this with no news on Friday. I mean, you don't really need to be expecting for round twos. A lot of round ones, you know, just one big momentum run up, and that's about it usually on Fridays. You can see here wins having been the #1 gainer. It's all the way down to the 500 EMA. A lot of these stocks that just was not part of our watch list, what's going to happen is it'll just kind of be a quick pop and a dump eventually. There's just not gonna, you're not gonna get a second chance mercy exit of another pop. If you do get a mercy exit, that, you know, those are where you need to definitely get in and get out. Like if you bought the bounce and then get out, because you might have lowered your average cost, your average, right? I used to do a lot of dollar cost averaging on day trading, you know, which is just buying more as it comes down. It's just not worth it. You know, after years of looking at the statistics, the average down on day trading is just not something that I would recommend, especially on the penny stocks. Now, dollar cost averaging on companies that are strong, yes, it works. It's good. Like, I think also on, like, say, futures, it might work okay. But in general, rule of thumb, I just don't think it's a good habit for you to play constantly, you know, the average down game. Because again, there are only very few people that can do that. And there's people that have money, okay, that have a big, large account that could afford that. A lot of folks, they don't have that. So you're gonna get blown at one point. It's just you're someone's gotta use some leverage. That's why I also don't recommend using margin. Like, you can have a margin account for shorting purposes and, you know, like whatever, but to actually use leverage is just not something that I, you know, recommend. Nor borrowing money from people. Like, just that's just not a good idea. A lot of people ask me, hey Dave, like I really want to get that $25,000 to like just do it, you know, to just day trade, blah blah blah. But I was thinking about just getting a loan or asking from parents, and I'm just like, man, not a good idea, buddy. Like, especially if it's not your money, and well, what happens if you lose it? Well, if you lose it, now you owe them, right? Or you feel bad and all that. So it's like just not something that you want to be part of. Use your own capital if you can, in terms of like that. Now, obviously, prop firms are great. Prop firms, I think, is very smart. I think prop firms, like that's why futures has a lot of prop firms. I think I told you about a stock prop firm as well. And I did get in a call with them. So, you know, the reason why I didn't share that with you yet is because, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's better than most. So, I mean, there's not a whole lot actually. I think that's the only one. But NUZE is back all the way down, so this is pretty much donezo. So where's NUZE at now? Like I said, it's gonna come all the way down to probably the 500 EMA, and now 500 EMA. Scott's like, okay, where's the volume? Gone with the wind. Dang, man, look at these wicks. Crazy, right? Can't even close on the 5-minute chart. This is crazy. Oh my gosh. Holy shoot. I actually ended up shorting right there. And I didn't even place a I didn't put a target level. I just closed out at the bottom right there. So that was a nice play on the my personal account right there. It's right at that rejection and came all the way down. Sometimes that happens, you know. It's a good Friday. FYI, I also recently changed my experimentation to trading ES a bit more versus the NQ. So um the ES, like I said, is the S&P 500. They actually follow similarly. So like NQ moves, ES follows sort of. That's what I've been seeing. And I find ES to be more, what's the word? It respects the lines more, and it's actually, in my opinion, less volatile. So if you find NQ, man, gosh, Dave, like it's so volatile, like it's moving so wild. Well, perhaps you can check out ES. Okay. So maybe I can pull it up on ES here on the chart. So for example, we go to the futures and go to ES. No, it's micros. I'm missing futures. ES, where are you at? There it is. I just find ES, the lines just tend to just hit a lot, you know, smoother. Obviously today there's some wild action still, but it's just check it out. I mean, something that, you know, you should learn to experiment both, in my opinion. Now, on the stock side, going back into it right now, actually, we don't even have you know, forget about the stretch break, guys. I mean, it's a fast morning Friday. We're gonna be out of here in 20 minutes anyways. But if you want to take it, go ahead and do that. There's nothing still happening except for now, yeah, Wint is getting that bounce from the what? It got just a hair below 666, 10 cents below 656, body held the 500 EMA, and look at that. We are now rolling on this Wint. So make sure everybody on the stock world has the 500 EMA on their charts. Okay, because the 500 EMA does work, guys. You know, looks like Scott, did you get the 500 EMA there on Wint? I know you love to wait there. Rolling off the 500 on the one. That's the orange line that you see on the screenshot. So 656 coming up towards what? $7. $7 natural resistance. So now, you know, should you expect this to just go all the way up to a new high of the day today? I mean, probably not. It's in a death cross still. Like I said, just like all the other sides that we talk about all week, the key is to get it at the lowest price and then take the scalp to the next resistance line. And then you know what? You can try again. $7 becomes support to get it and then go aim for the next line, next resistance line, right? Mr. Gio Fibonacci. Yes, sir. Have a good day. It's a good Friday. Uchi Sushi. Scoochie? What? Uchi Scoochie? All right. So besides that,
AMIS.
I'm gonna upload all the YouTube. No, I'm gonna upload all the Zoom recordings from this week tomorrow. Okay. So that you guys can spend some Saturday and Sunday to go and review some of the trades that we took. And then get ready for a nice Money Monday after, you had a good fun weekend, so
BFI, one. And AGM.
anybody have any questions regarding on stocks or futures or anything?
BFI. One. AMIS.
We got 2 minutes before the 20 minutes till 11 a.m. ripper dip. Should be a pretty chill day, guys. You guys know it's just Friday. BFI is now technically number one after all these stocks that ran. They pull back down. Yeah, I didn't really put BFI on the watch list because it didn't look good at all in pre-market, as you can see, but ended up popping up pretty nice, actually. I think I need to start looking at these stocks that are like more like really beaten down. I need to have at least one stock on the watch list, I think. Because if you look at the stocks, man, all these stocks that really get beaten down in pre-market, eventually, not all of them, but like some of these names, it just starts rolling since the market opens and just does nothing but just does higher lows and higher highs. So I'm gonna need to start working on that. Looking for more of those names. Hmm. Since what size accounts am I using on the futures? Well, I mean, I'm assuming you're asking about the not my personal account, but the big what do you call it? The prop firms. Yeah, Apex. I mean, I have actually 3 prop firm accounts. Obviously, Apex is my main one, but Apex, I have the largest ones, the 300K accounts still. And then the Bullinox is another company. I use 50K accounts on that one. And then on the Take Profit Trader, I have a 150K account. Yeah. Hot fan. What about MLGO? Let's see. Let me pull it up for you. You guys, if you have any questions about other stocks or what you want my 2 cents on, whatever you have an eye on for a stock, let me know, and I can also give you guys what I see. So if you look at MLGO just right off the bat, I mean, this is a classic just dump and at the market opening. No volume. It's very choppy. Just by looking at it, it's a very any stocks that makes you look like it looks like barcode. This looks like a barcode scan, right? You see what I'm saying? Just stay away from these. Just general rule of thumb. If it looks like a barcode stock on the candles, it's just stay away. So, in general, yeah, when stocks look like barcode, stay away. Okay. So, this is what we call just a barcode stock, no volume. Well, hey guys, and you want to look for those names that are like we're looking really good, right? So MLGL, you got that, and then BFI, you got 60 cents moving up here. BFI, nice high of the day. But the only thing you gotta watch out for is this 61 cents area of the 200 on the daily. So be on the lookout for that. You went for a swing. It was one of the probabilic last week. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like all these stocks that have their, big moments, but you gotta, learn to get off when it's time. So yeah, parabolic, not probabilic. You spelled it wrong. All right. Well, that's about it for now right now. I mean, BFI is just getting really, really big, over bot territory. So I would stay away there. Support on NUZE 365 support. Was this from a previous line or how to find this line? Let's see. We pull up NUZE.
LGL.
So NUZE, this line here, 365. Okay, so 375 was my resistance line. So that was a candle break line. And then you said 365 support. So 365 support was the VWAP that I was using earlier. And then the 10 EMA. So I was using the 10 EMA and VWAP. Yeah. So like I said, you want to use those stocks that are like at the 10 EMA, the 25 EMA, the VWAP. So that's why I said every stock has their own characteristics. So what you need to do is go back to the pre-market from where it started and then see how it started running on up and down. So moves up and then every time it pulls back, where are the lines or areas that it generally bounced off the most? Usually before the lines, I look at the indicators. So like, let's say stock XYZ is right in 10 EMA and pre-market. So the first dip goes all the way down to what? I mean, if it dips all the way down to 50 EMA and then bounces again, market opens, you want to use a 50 EMA. That's what I call the hero EMA. So runs up, goes all the way down, 50 EMA is a hero EMA. So that's what I mean. Like look for every stock. Every stock's gonna be different, right? XYZ versus, ABC stock, for example. ABC might run to 10 EMA in pre-market and then dips all the way down to 200 EMA. So now you can use that 200 EMA at market opening because that was the lowest point it bounced from. That's how I determine and not waste my time buying, at a 25 EMA, maybe guessing maybe it's going to be the 50 EMA, maybe guessing it's going to be the 89 EMA. Like when I was back in the days, I wasn't sure about that. What I would do is just buy and average down. Remember I told you I used to play the average down game a lot. I used to just average down, 25 EMA, 50 EMA, 89 EMA, 200 EMA. Because as it keeps going down, like I had this ego to not want to sell, right? So I will just keep averaging down, like 25 EMA. Here we go. It's got to bounce here, and then 50 EMA. It's tested here. I got to buy here. Like you would think that it would work out in your favor at one point, but there's gonna be a time where you're gonna run out of buying power, right? I mean, unless you're going in like small, like you're being smart, like you're only going in less than 30% of your account size, and that's all you're using, right? So, for example, if you have, I don't know, like $50,000 account, and you go in, let's see, what's 50,000 of the below 30%? Like you're only using your buying real buying power is only 15,000. Even though you have $50,000 account balance, you have 15,000 of the buying power, right? So that's your max buying power. So I do think that whatever your account size is, you need to have that that max you know, availability that you're willing to use. I mean, like that's how at least how I do it, because you know people love to just go all in, and if you go all in, you're really putting yourself out there to blow your account up. So it's way better to just, hey, let me have like a 30-40% or whatever it may be for you that you feel comfortable. Maybe you could do 50%. I don't know, but generally, you know, I think having that 30-40% rule or something like that is good to have in place. And that way you're not, you know, tempted to go in, you know, the all full account size. Sometimes, not sometimes, a lot of people that I see, they just use that leverage, right? You technically only have, let's say, $25,000 in buying power, but people start buying 50,000, 75,000 on one stock. And the truth of this game is what is you're gonna have losses, right? So what happens? You pull back after having all that leverage, your account's dented. Like most of the time, it gets crushed. So you know, for all those out there that are like constantly trying to grow your accounts, the number one killer that I see is just borrowing money from the broker, the leverage.
Viral.
So right now, news is below VWAP, RGC is below VWAP, SGMO below VWAP, Wind below VWAP. Pretty much, literally all the stock except for I think BFY is above VWAP. Let me double check. Yeah, it's just still right in the 10 EMA. Now, I would say, yeah, this is probably the best one to look at because it's number one gainer, just running the 1025 EMA. There is a new line here that I want to share with you guys on BFI that could take this up further, which is the 56 line here. So BFI 0.56 candle break line here.
CFH. CSIQ.
We got about 10 minutes here before 11 a.m. and we're going to get off the mic.
Elbot.
56. This line right here. And if you look at BFI, that put a line of 63. Let me double check on my other chart. 64 actually. So 200 dailies at 64 cents. So 64 slash 200 on the daily. So that means that this 56 cents starts breaking above and becomes support. You got a shot up towards 64. And then that's probably going to be, I mean, a good area to just lock in and call it a day. But another thing that I would watch is also Wint, because Wint did get a very nice continuation from the 500 EMA again after that first run, and that couldn't break $7. It pulled all the way back down to 666 again, and then hit the 720, that 730 line. So Wint watch for a golden cross here.
A.
Yeah, I would watch the 825 line again. There's a line here at 730. That's an old line. See, these old lines work as resistance. Look what happened here earlier too. So a lot of traders that don't look at the previous resistance lines, they get effed up the whole time, every time. So wick drop, wick drop. So what does that tell you here? Third time, you really got to wait for that candle break confirmation, it means that that 730 candle needs to start opening up higher than 730. The only thing, like I said, I'm going to leave up here in the next 8 minutes is just this BFI for the 56-cent candle break for the 64. And there's a new high day. So it's about to be 200% coming up on BFI. So 200 on the D approaching and 200%. Yeah, BurgerFi. Is BurgerFi a I think that's a fast food burger, right? By the way, just hit 64. In fact, might have gotten a bit wick into it. So we got a 68. And then you got 73-cent up, Paul. If you guys want to take a quick scalp on that, I would wait for the 64 now becoming support and then go for the next move towards 70 cents or so. 74 up now. I'm not in this, by the way, guys. I did not take that trade, but I just saw the 56 being a good opportunity for anyone that's interested. So you got a 75-cent up pulp now. $76 up pulp. They're moving it up. Just keep in mind, watch for the 10 EMA extension. For those that are like, oh, it's Friday, I gotta start shorting soon. I mean, that's fair. Just I think it's just kind of smarter at either the 10 EMA extension or the crack of 10 EMA. So what does that mean? Well, draw your upper trend lines, draw your downtrend lines, wait for the ascending wedge. Right now, they're moving it up. There's a momentum right now, 77. All right. I think that personally, that's it for me. There's nothing else going on. We got 5 minutes to 11 a.m. So I say BFI running towards 11 a.m. Watch for probably 11 a.m. dip because it's running really nicely right now towards 11 a.m. So probably past 11 a.m. This is probably going to look for a nice dip. It's a Friday too, so don't try to test your luck by constantly buying and buying and buying today. That's just not worth it. You got the weekend ahead of you. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Have a good restful weekend. Study up. I'll upload the videos from this week to YouTube, and you guys can study and review that. But other than that, guys, enjoy. Have a good one, and stay blessed. Looking forward to serving you guys on Money Monday. Take care, everybody.